Hi everyone, it's Sunday night of week 4 of the Fernwood 12-week challenge, which takes us to a third of the way through already. I'm not sure about you, but the last 4 weeks have absolutely flown by, and when I'm feeling like it's a little bit tough, I just tell myself, well, look how fast that's gone. You only have to do that 2 more times, and we're done. I have to admit, I am tired tonight, and I've had about 7 attempts at this video already, and seriously contemplating putting it off until tomorrow night. But I really wanted to do my Sunday night check-in and let you all know how the week has gone. So please bear with me if I'm sort of fumbling and mumbling and sort of losing track along the way. So last week, I mentioned in my last video that I was doing a bit of a quick trip to Sydney and back. Sydney's about a 3-hour drive from Canberra. So I set myself up to really succeed and stay on track for the trip, and by taking some meals that travelled well. So I took my dinner for Tuesday night and my lunch for Wednesday, as well as easy to travel snacks and breakfast that I could take with me too. So while I was away, I didn't eat anything that I hadn't already planned to take to eat and take with me. I exercised on the Tuesday before we went. I did my 6:15 functional fit class, and I managed to get home in time for my Wednesday afternoon workout. So I was really happy with that. I didn't lose any days to being on the road. My food was on track, my exercise stayed the same. So certainly no complaints there. However, it probably did contribute to my tiredness levels now. Another thing last week that we had was the Friday night games at Fernwood Tuggeranong. That was an absolute blast. It's such a fun night with a focus on team spirit and fun. It's a little bit competitive, but it's all competitive in a fun way. We played some relay games. We all got dressed up in our colours, and we also played a game of Human Hungry Hippos, which was an absolute hoot. I might try and post some of the footage from that a little bit later. I took my daughter along with me on Friday night. I really wanted to show her the community spirit that you can get in Fernwood gyms. She, with her medical issues that she has, it's unlikely that she'll ever be able to exercise at the level that I do. But by taking her along with me, she could actually see how there are women of all ages, all body types, all abilities, and everybody is welcomed. It's all encompassing. There's always options for the people who are injured or can't do quite so much. There's, they're there cheering everyone on, and everyone is celebrated. And that's one of the things that I just absolutely love about Fernwood, and I don't think there's anywhere else that I could get that. I could be in that kind of community. And so that's a hope I have for my daughter as she gets older and becomes an adult, that she finds a similar community as I have. So I don't often talk about my son. My son, he's returning to rugby this year. He is 17. And so that's thrown a spanner in the works for my Saturdays. Now he will be playing rugby, so he needs to get there, a good hour and a half before the game for training and warm-ups and things like that. But I really do encourage him to for the same reasons as I go to Fernwood, to have that team belonging and being active and just enjoying himself. So my Saturdays I'll be working out early now, and I'll be then enjoying some sunshine on the sidelines until it gets too cold, where I'll probably be cursing him for choosing to play rugby again. So progress-wise, this week I changed some things around a little bit. So I changed my food around a bit after speaking with Nia. I actually have some gallstones, and at some stage I'll need to have my gallbladder removed. I don't want to have that happen, so I'm holding on to it for as long as I can. But what that can mean is if my gallbladder's not working well, processing those fats can be a little bit difficult. So what I've done is I've changed some of my meals and snacks around to get those good fats from nuts and other things. So a lot of the dairy I've decided to take out. Not all of the dairy. I do need to get my calcium, but a snack that has a lot of cottage cheese is probably not the best option for me at the moment. And so it'll be interesting to see if that has had an effect on my weight loss. I also changed around my food coaching time. You might have noticed in my last few videos I was becoming quite frustrated with what I saw as a lack of progress, and Nia really recognised that was a bit of a mental hurdle for me. So she suggested that we do a morning weigh-in on a Friday now instead of an afternoon, and by doing that I can actually see my real progress. My very first weigh-in was a beginning of the day weigh where I hadn't had breakfast and I hadn't been drinking water. So now when I weigh, I can actually see my difference from that start weigh, which is much more accurate. So I'm pleased to say that my weight is now 62 kilos. So that's actually a 2 kilo loss from the beginning of the challenge, which I'm really pleased about. So also I mentioned previously that I felt like I was having change, although I couldn't see it on the scales. And my measurements this week show that that is correct. I have had a 14 centimetre loss. 3 of those centimetres are from my thigh, 4 from my hips, and 5 from my waist. So I'm absolutely thrilled to have those results. But it also goes to show that you won't always... There are different measures for each of us, and you know, it might look like you're not progressing, but yeah, take note of how your clothes feel. Take note of how you might find something a little bit easier now than you have previously. And I was speaking with a friend who she felt she was doing quite well, and I'm certain she's doing really well. I see her in the gym. She's really committed. She feels good, and her measurements didn't give her the results she thought she would have felt. And so I just wanted to, I reminded her, and I want to remind everyone else, that just keep in mind that, you know, different days your body's doing different things. Also, if your food coach that measured you first is a different food coach to your most recent measurements, sometimes they measure slightly differently. There's no right or wrong, but then, you know, consistency again might show you truer results. So keep things like that in mind. I'm not sure what else I had to say today. I rounded up my week with 665 points, and I'm absolutely thrilled with that, especially given I travelled on 2 of those days this week. Points are like a completely personal thing. I'm really motivated by them, but they aren't the be-all and end-all. So, you know, if you are getting less points than that, don't at all think that you're not doing well, because, you know, it's also good to think about what level of activity you had before you started the challenge. If you were doing, you know, if you were new to the gym, or if you were doing 1 or 2 workouts a week and you went to be doing 3 workouts a day, 7 days a week, that wouldn't necessarily be a good thing. But we also get our points in all different ways too. So all of my point scoring activities aren't necessarily high impact activities. I finished off my week with CX Works with Maddie. And I love the Sunday night session. I think it's a lovely way to end the week. It's low impact, and there's another 25 points. and I invite you all to come down and join us on a Sunday. It's a very nice class, and I think it's nice to finish on a gentle high. So I think I will finish that now, and I will check in probably with a week 5 wrap up towards the end of next week. See you later.